thank you for joining me for coffee. I haven't had one sip yet. Just what I needed. I enjoy that first sip so much it makes me worry that, you know, I should stop drinking coffee. If it tastes that good to me and I look forward to it so much, it must be bad for me, right? I don't believe that it is. The cream is the problem. And the cream is only a problem because it's so early in the morning. If I had my first cup of coffee right before I was going to eat my first meal, it wouldn't matter. I am wearing my Paloma. I don't know that I ever discussed my Paloma in my cavalcade of sweaters. So if I did, I apologize in advance, but I'm going to show you my Paloma. The Paloma is by the ladies at Espace Tricot, the yarn shop in Montreal. It is a cropped sweater. It's got a turtleneck, got a whole turtleneck. I keep it turned under, and it's got some lovely detail on the sleeves. Now, I completely changed the sleeves. I made them elbow length sleeves, and they were in fact long bell sleeves in the pattern. I do not like bell sleeves. I like to be able to push up my sleeves or whatever. And I have no idea why I decided to do elbow length, but I'm not sorry. Maybe I don't wear this sweater when it's super cold, although I could with the turtleneck, but I would have to have long sleeves then. So hold on, let me fix this. I moved the camera rather than the chair. So see, it has a turtleneck. Is that twisted rib? Maybe not. But I usually wear it turned down. I made this out of alpaca. This is from the yarn that I bought when I was in Lima at the Indian market. I bought about 5 pounds of yarn, at least. Every color that they had that was like a natural color, which I considered this one to be. I don't, you know, in my heart, I don't believe they were the natural colors. I think they were just dyed. And then I got a burgundy. So anyway, I think this was my favorite of the colors. And so I thought a shorty sweater with short sleeves would work good. But, you know, it is alpaca. I could glean it right here while you watch. And of course, under the arms is the worst space. Whoops, that's an end. I need to take care of that. Anyway, so I'm not remembering the name brand of this yarn, but the only other people who had it in stash, when I looked in Ravelry, every one of them, they had gotten it either themselves or from someone who bought it at the Indian market. So it's not something that is apparently readily available in the United States. Except with me, because I bought a lot of it. Of course, I've been using it. I've made several shawls with it, and and I made this sweater. And I haven't taken inventory, so I don't really know how much of it I have left. But I'm very happy with this. This is a free pattern. The Paloma by Espace Tricot. And I'm sure I've put that up there, because I feel like I'm pretty sure I'm editing today. I forgot to record the gizmo. I even forgot to look at the gizmo, so I can't even tell you what it said. So I don't know what the temperature is, but it's getting warmer every day till, I don't know, Saturday. Maybe not. Maybe that was last week. Never mind. I won't give you the weather since I don't know it. So yesterday did not go to plan. I didn't have much planned, did I? Well, then it did. I was reading comments and replying to comments, and Elizabeth asked if my cracker and biscotti recipes were from cookbooks or from online. And so I remembered off the top of my head that the cracker recipe is from Steve at Serious Keto. It's called Panhead Crackers. And I told her that. But that I would have to get up and look at the biscotti recipe. So I did get up and look. And we keep our most, really what are our most current loose recipes in manila file folders, 4 manila file folders in a drawer in the kitchen. Main dishes, desserts, sides and sauces, and miscellaneous. And so I went to find the dessert folder to look up the biscotti recipe, and it was not there. Dennis and I spent 2 hours looking for this file folder. It's this thick. We never found it. We have no idea where it could possibly be. We used it in the last couple days because I don't have the biscotti recipe amounts memorized. So I made biscotti 3 days ago. So it was out. And I remember taking the whole folder out, opening it up, you know, because I just need the amounts and then I'm fine. I don't need it for instructions or anything. I've made them so many times. Dennis had been thinking about making chocolate mousse, and so he had been looking at it. We spent 2 hours, literally 2 hours, looking for that all over the. I mean, he went in the basement. I mean, there are only 2 logical places where it would be, and of course, it's in neither of those. So we've been looking in the not logical places. We cannot find it anywhere. It's a manila folder that thick. It's crazy. So then we spent an hour online trying to find our versions of the recipes that we were like in a panic we didn't have. I found the biscotti recipe. It's from My Keto Kitchen. Keto biscottis. So I was able to find that and print that. And Dennis is making Ora Tres Leches cake, so he had to go find that and make sure he had that. Anyway. So yesterday was very frustrating. I can't even picture where it's going to turn up, because it has to turn up. You know, I mean, we're like, well, the dog's going to take it outside. 5 papers would have been everywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's the point we got to. So it was very frustrating. So we did that all day, and then it was like, oh, but I knit. And so I have an update on my cute bag and this bag is padded. If you know, like if you were ever taking anything precious, like if you wanted to just take this bag as your purse and throw your phone in and whatever, it'd be safe because this is padded. So I finished Sammy's back. I am making my granddaughter Samantha, who is 6, will be 7 in August. I am making her the Happy Unicorn sweater. Is that not the cutest thing? And it's by, I can't pronounce it, so I won't. In case you want to look it up. Happy Unicorn sweater. I don't think it was free. Here is the back. Now that stitch marker is where I was the last time I showed you this. Not the last time I talked about it, because I told you I did this and this and this. But that's the last time I showed you. So the whole back potential spam was calling me. The whole back is done. 18.5 inches, which seems really long to me, but I did make Isabel's too short in the end. I'm tempted to take it back and add another set of squares on the bottom, which will be quite a trick since it was knit in pieces from the bottom up. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm figuring out all these things, how I'm going to do this. You know, it's like Andrea does on Fruity Knitting. I mean, she's always, saying, oh, I did this piece too long. And then she cuts it and, well, I did one too short. So we could see. But anyway, we'll see. I haven't heard and I haven't seen a picture. So I don't know if Isabel actually likes it. I'll double check. Anyway, there's Samantha's back. This yarn, actually, I am enjoying knitting with this yarn a lot. It is soft and yummy. If you need to make, if you have a need for soft, yummy acrylic, this is 70% acrylic and 30% polyamide. I've always assumed polyamide is like nylon, but I guess I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what I'm making it from. And I'm really enjoying knitting it. And it's soft and yummy. She's going to love it. And this is the front. So as you can see in the picture, there ain't too much purple in the front before I start unicorning. So I'm very close to the unicorn. I have to count my rows. I think I only have 5 more rows. And I start the unicorn. So I have all the yarn for it here. I have to ball up these yarns into small balls because I am not schlepping around these giant balls. Oh, this is the second one for the sweater. I am not schlepping around these balls to do this intarsia. So I'm going to make little balls for the intarsia. But these are the colors that the horns and everything are going to be. And so I need to process these. In fact, I'll do that today. Oh, I'll do that today while I am editing. That will be something I can do while I'm editing and still listen to myself. Figure out if I made a fool of myself or not. I always have to be on the lookout for me making a fool of myself. So there you go. That is the progress on the unicorn sweater, the happy unicorn. And it's going to be really cute. And I'm really enjoying that yarn, I must say. It was on sale at half price at Michael's when I bought it last week, beginning of last week, 2 weeks, a week and a half ago. All right, so this is getting a little longer because I showed you my Paloma, my last whip in my German Shepherd bag. I think Susan, who gave me the Egyptian themed scarf, also gave me this bag. Maybe in the same swap, I'm not sure. This is my Forest Park. This pattern was a gift from the lovely Lisa. I had admired hers and talked about doing it, and doesn't that look yummy and warm? Hers is yummy and warm. She finished hers. I, on the other hand, it's a cardigan. I, on the other hand, have not. But I have gotten to the place where the mosaic starts. This is mosaic. So I am like right here. And then my brain stopped functioning. Now, I love mosaic. It's not color work. It's mosaic. The cat was on the move over there. The dogs are at the gate out there. And then I stopped. I have no excuses other than brain power. Now, this yarn, I have made this yarn into a worsted boxy once. That did not work at all. I don't think I like a worsted boxy, and it did not work in this yarn. But this is a lovely, soft, gorgeous yarn that was sent to me from Chile. It was that yarn exchange, that big yarn exchange. You pay $6, and then they give you a name, and you send it off, and someone else sends you yarn. Well, Mane got my my knee, and she gave me this yarn. And then at a later time, she actually gave me more, and we have become friends. She hosted Dennis and myself for, I mean, she took us around Santiago, Chile. When we were in Chile, we went and they picked us up at the airport. They walked around, they took us around like we were family. For 3 days. It was amazing before our trip started. Hold on. We're and the cat were on the move. Things were going crazy over there. So anyway, Mane and Javier, I mean, it was such, they gave us a tour, took us to an alpaca farm. We went to a winery. I mean, they took us around like we were family. It was so, so lovely. So, so lovely. I mean, these are really wonderful, sweet people in Santiago, Chile. Chile. I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I'm American. I don't know how to say anything right. Anyway, it's looking a little bluer on my screen than it is. It's a tiny bit more green. I would say it's more of a mint green than baby blue, but on my screen it's looking blue. But it's a mint green. Funny about that. Anyway, it is the softest, fluffiest yarn. And this sweater is going to be the coziest, loveliest sweater when I'm finished with it. And it was really mental energy. I got to that place. Well, it's it's a little weird. It's a little weird because what you're doing, I still haven't split for the sleeves yet at this point. I think I'm very close to splitting for the sleeves. So the problem is you have mosaic here, and then you're knitting across here with no mosaic, and then I don't know. Is there mosaic in the back? I don't think there's mosaic in the back. Now that I say that. But you're... Oh. So for the same row here where you're knitting with the dark color, the thing with mosaic is you're only ever knitting with one color in any row. You're not changing yarns in a row. So where that dark is, you're knitting and then you're slipping stitches from the previous row and then knitting and slipping stitches from the previous row. So when you're knitting this dark row and you come here, you're not knitting with that dark row anymore. So now you're supposed to have a little ball of this yarn attached here so you can... Anyway, it started to sound really complicated. It isn't. I don't think it is. I'm sure I can do it when I sit down to try to do it. And I really wanted this sweater. I really wanted this sweater for this winter. And I have let myself down. But, and the reality is I'm really not going to want to knit this sweater in the summertime because this yarn is bulky and warm. And knitting a big sweater on your lap in the summertime is not the best thing. So anyway, my Forest Park. And this is by Knit for the Soul, Kay Hopkins. Knit for the Soul, Kay Hopkins. So I'm going to finish this as Mel and Sue say on the Great British Baking. We're on our last season that we haven't seen yet. It's the last one that Mel and Sue and Mary were on. The one with Candace and Benjamina and James. All these lovely, lovely, Selassie, really lovely, lovely people. So here is my Forest Park. And it is my last whip that I know of. I have cross-stitch whips, and I do have And I have a Tunisian crochet whip. I'm in the middle of a second headband because I tried Tunisian crochet. You were there for that adventure. And, yeah. And my blanket. So those are all my whips. So you have seen my whips. I have the 3 bags on my table again that I can put up there. And yeah, whip parade. This is the end of the sweater parade. No more parades. Oh dear. Well, one of these days I do have to sort through my shawls. That could take us to the end of the year. I have a lot of shawls. Oh, and I have to wash my socks today. I was thinking I'm gonna have socks. I'm not showing you my socks. But I do have to wash them. I think I should wash them today. I'm running out. And if I wash my socks, did I tell you that I have a pair of socks that are too big for me that fit Dennis perfectly? They're going to be his new sleeping socks. So his old sleeping socks are going to go in my repair bag. I did tell you that. I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself. I'm that friend who repeats herself all the time. So I have to wash those socks because they're in the sock hamper. All right. There you go. That's today. Every day this week we've got something going on. We got to take the car to the mechanic today because it's being inspected tomorrow. So we'll probably stop at the store on the way home. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and we have been having a lot of trouble humidifying our house. I told you that. We have 2 humidifiers going downstairs. We can't keep it humid enough, which means that our geothermal heat pump is broken. We have a humidifying, device on that, and apparently it isn't working. So we have a repair guy coming on Wednesday for that. Dennis has a doctor's appointment on Thursday, and Aura has her first physical therapy on Friday. So we have a busy week. Busy week. And I got to take down my decorations. So there you go. Little preview. Oh, I got to stop. I'm going to go edit this. By edit, I don't mean take anything out because I hardly ever take anything out. Occasionally. But usually not. I usually just put titles in and make, that kind of stuff. You can hear the pretty music Christy commissioned for my vlog and my podcast. And see the intro that she made me. And it's a reminder, our Zoom call this month is on the 25th. So please mark your calendar. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, take good care of yourselves. Please be careful. Stay safe and stay safe.